Guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a pretty valuable video for you guys. Any of you who've ever wanted to get inside Uber Eats, this is a really good video for you. Been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I can tell you that it's got a lot of high points, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're sick of working same old job where you're fixed to a certain schedule, or you'd rather just work by yourself, work on your own schedule, this is one of the good things for you. Now I know that quite a few people, they have a few different reasons as to why it is that they're kind of skeptical about starting with Uber. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to address that along this journey, I guess you could call it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. Today's Tuesday. I worked Monday, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of what happened yesterday, or I'm gonna show you at least the results of what happened yesterday in terms of how much I make. And then I'm gonna show you today, and maybe even a few days after today, I'll show you how repeatable this process is in terms of making money. I guess I should address a few things in terms of, costs, in terms of wait time, in terms of what to expect as well. All these things will be addressed at some point in time, but I guess for the most part, what I really want to get into is the meat and potatoes of making money driving for Uber Eats. I did for the first almost full first year. It's probably a few months shy of a whole year, but I did drive doing the actual Uber driving for almost a year. And the thing with that is you make a lot of really good money. You make actually really good money. Like I think I was averaging about $30 to $35 an hour when I was working for when I was doing that. The thing with that is there's an element of I guess it's like entertaining. You have to be able to be really good at reading people, and even then you may sometimes not be able to read them properly. So sometimes it'll be like there'll be people who they want to have a conversation with you. And trust me, I've spoken with a whole variety of different passengers, and oftentimes, especially if you gain their trust, so if they like you, then they'll tell you things about other drivers or their other experiences. And what I've what I found from some of them is it's funny, but it's like it's not funny. Um, some of the ones who really like me, they tell me how awesome of an Uber driver I am. Then they tell me how much they didn't like other Uber drivers, and it went something like this. Some of them would tell me how they didn't like an Uber driver because the Uber driver didn't talk or didn't talk enough, and that right there set them off in terms of whether they decided to tip or whether they just didn't like the Uber driver. So that's one of the reasons why this is a video more towards doing the Uber Eats, is because you don't really have to really entertain people. But then I've also heard the opposite, where some people are like, yeah, the driver was talking, and I just wanted to do my thing. I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to get to my destination. So it's not that necessarily it's a huge problem. It's just you have to really know what it is people like. So what I'd like to do most of the time when I'd be doing those those pickup and drop offs is I'd have some form of entertainment, whether that's the aux cord so that they can play the music they want to play, or if you have like a tablet or something, you can play videos on your tablet to keep them entertained. There's other ways of doing it, but that's basically you just want to keep them preoccupied with something. Have magazines, have something in there to really keep them entertained. Otherwise, you're gonna have to be a very good conversationalist, and even then, like I said, some of them they don't really like that. They just want to get their ride going, and just be done with it, right? So I'm gonna bring you guys up to my Uber app. I'll show you a little bit of yesterday's business. Let me see if I can do this for you guys real quick. Sometimes it takes a little bit for it to get started, but this is how it looks when it's first getting started. It's about 4:07 p.m. right now. Okay, when it's first getting started, it shows you the map. It tells you right now that you're offline, and that if you want to start, if you want to start taking any orders, you're gonna press that big blue button that says go, and then it'll get you straight now. But I'm gonna show you guys something real quick before. So if you go to what it says see upcoming promotions and you click on that, what it does now is it opens you up to kind of like a schedule that it shows you. If you can see where it says now, it says 1.2x to 1.3 booster per trip. So what that means is that if you typically would have made, I don't know, let's say for instance you would have made like $4 for a trip, you'd be making 1.2 to 1.3 times that amount for this trip, because during this time it's there's a bigger concentration of people who are looking for deliveries. So it's just a little incentive to get you to go and do it during those times. So you really want to maximize on that. That way you can make the most out of your money, because that's one of the key tricks to really making a lot of good money. You don't have to do that. It's just it's a lot easier. You can spend less time out on the road when you do it like that. So that's one of the things you want to know. And whenever you're getting into it, see right now it's not 5 o'clock, so I can't exactly show you exactly what it'd be like to go at this time. But if you click on the map, what it'll do is it basically shows you the areas that you're gonna be in. And right now, it's basically showing you that I'm that the area that I'm basically in is this area right here. So you can do like this to kind of widen the areas to see which areas are gonna give you um what multiple. So you see the 1.3 there. You can see 1.2 in a few different places, so on and so forth. You guys get the idea. And then what you do is you just click on whichever blue space you want to go to, and it'll literally direct you to an area where you can get those multiplying factors to get that kind of boost in your earnings. Now, if you know the area, which it's always a good idea to get familiar with the area that you're going into. But if you know the area already, then oftentimes you're not gonna have to click that button to be navigated to the right area. But like I said, it's there for you if you need it. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Right now, I'm sitting at about almost like a quarter of a tank. All right, I'm gonna show you what it was like for me yesterday. Most people say that like you're making about $12 an hour. Well, actually, I don't even know what most people say, because some people say it's good, some people say it's bad. But I'm gonna show you basically mine. So right now, if you look at my profile says 4.97. So I'm gonna show you the 4.97 is, and it shows you right there. It says that I've done almost 4,000 trips. So the 4.97 actually isn't my rating. It's my rating for my Uber driving trip. So when I actually had people inside the car, that's what they gave me. It's out of 5. So I had a pretty high rating. It just nobody's perfect, obviously. You're gonna have good days. You're gonna have bad days. Oftentimes, if you follow certain rules, then you can stay on the higher spectrum, and that's basically what you're looking for. Because if you go too low on the rating scale, then it causes problems for you. So you want to stay on the higher end. But let me show you some of my compliments. So you get these little badge things over here. And anytime somebody rates you as having excellent service, great conversation, above and beyond, yada yada yada, you kind of just get these little badges that they give you, and they give you. Whenever you get those badges, it means you got 5 stars from those people. So I got quite a few 5 stars. I think I even. There's a point where it shows you how many 5-star trips you had, but I'm not really sure. Okay, yeah, so 500 5-star trips. So I've had that many, and that's just for the actual driving of people around. So I've had at least 500 5-star trips. It could be like 599 for all you know. I was one away from 600, but I haven't done the driving of people for quite some time, because I personally like doing the Uber Eats, just the food delivery, a lot more. So I'll show you something real quick. This this is basically going to show you what people have rated me on, or what they've had to say about me, first off. So, like I said, it gives you all these badges. So this is just like, it's kind of like a tally of the different badges I get at the time. So as you can see, the list literally goes on. I don't even know how many of these there are, but there's like a ridiculous amount. So that's just to give you guys credit, to show you that I'm not just some guy just talking a bunch of crazy stuff. I really am a good Uber driver. So there you go. It went to the end right there, and there's commentary ranging from a whole bunch of different stuff. You guys don't really need to see all that. But here, let me show you. Actually, let me go back. If you want to see my delivery ratings isn't 100% right now, but it's almost there. I'm pretty sure it's a 99. So yeah, there you go. 99% high rating. So when you look right here, it says merchant. Merchant just means the places where you go to pick up the food. The people there, they get to rate you as well. So if they like you, then they'll give you a thumbs up. If they didn't like you, they give you a thumbs down. Or if you did something that they didn't think was professional enough, they can give you a thumbs down. Oftentimes the merchants don't really even give you a rating. They just see you, and they're too busy with their other stuff. Same thing goes with the customer. The customer can give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. They can even not rate you, which that actually happens quite a bit of times. But like I said, I'm one of those who knows how to conversate with the customers, and even to conversate with the merchants. So as you can see, I have 89 thumbs up. I have one thumbs down. Sometimes what they'll do is, if they give you a thumbs down, they'll say a specific reason why. If they don't say a specific reason why, it's either they were too lazy to, they couldn't find a reason, or sometimes they may not even have a good reason. They just were having a bad day, or maybe they just don't like the way you look. Who knows? It could be a bunch of different reasons. But if you tend to be like on the lighthearted side, and just like an overall good person, you usually don't get too many thumbs down. So like right now, they didn't say anything, so could be any reason. I don't typically do anything to really set people off. So maybe it's just a bad day. Who knows? But we'll go and show you yesterday's earnings, so I can show you just how good this is. So for this week, so this is Tuesday, like I said. So for this week, I only have $106 so far because I haven't started today. So 106 is actually from yesterday. So let me show you that real quick. So that's $106. And as you guys can see, I took 13 trips, and that's 4 hours and 54 minutes. So just under 5 hours. So that's about 20 point something dollars per hour. I don't know really how much that costs. I don't really need to calculate that. You guys, if you guys really need to know how much that is, you can go ahead and pull out your calculator and do the math there. But as you can see, I made about $20 an hour for only about 5 hours worth of work, and most people don't even get that. So think about it this way: if you did those same numbers each day, you'd be making about $100 a day. You can do more than that. I was just for yesterday, I only worked 5 hours, but I average about 100 to 160 per day. So if you wanted to, let's say if you wanted to make about $1,000 a day, you'd have to basically do what it is that I'm doing, but then you're essentially doing that each day. You know what I mean? So if you spend about 5 hours each day, so it's seven days, but 7 days for only 5 hours, that's not too bad. Then you'd be averaging about, well, a little bit over $1,000 for the week, and then you can repeat that process. So that's just to show you just how good it is. Now I'll show you something else, because based on what I've been hearing, is people think that you can't really get that much in tips. So if you scroll down here a little bit, as you can see, my trip earnings is actually $77.78, but my tip is 28.50, right? So here we'll go a little bit more in depth. Anytime you see a green check mark, that means that that person gave me a tip. And anytime you don't see a green check mark beside the fare, it means that I didn't get a tip. All right, so the last one I did, 953, I didn't get a tip. But as you can see, the tips keep rolling. And this is pretty much how it's been for basically any time that I drive. I'm able to get tips really well. So this is literally the best thing in terms of making money. Is people don't think you can make a lot of money with Uber, but the people who don't think that, they're not thinking the right way. And it's no disrespect to them, but the best way I can put it is you have to start thinking of it as more of a business and less of a job. When you think of it as a job, then you may not make that much. You may get not that good ratings. But once you start taking it from the standpoint of what would the customer like to see, and you'll start to see a lot of really good results. You guys can hear in the background it's raining right now, and that's actually one of the secrets that a lot of people either don't know about or don't tell you about. But it is actually raining if you guys can see all that. So when it rains, it's actually one of the best times to make money. Why? There's a bunch of different reasons why, but take this into consideration. When it rains, people tend to be kind of gloomy. They tend they tend to be a little bit more on the downside. And when people are down, they like to indulge in certain behaviors. And one of those behaviors, one of the biggest behaviors, is they like to eat. A lot of people, when you eat, they feel happy. So what does that mean? That means more people tend to want to buy Uber Eats because one, they don't want to go outside because it's raining. They don't want to get rained on, and then two, they want to become happy. So comfort foods, right? Another thing is when it rains, you also find that there's less Uber delivery folk driving around. So that means that you're gonna get even more money because you're gonna get more orders. Not only that, but there's they give you an extra boost in your area. Well, for most people anyway, they do what they call a surge. It means that there's not enough deliverers or not enough drivers in the area. So what they do is they increase the amount that you can get. So it's basically like the same as that multiplier that I showed you before, but it's kind of like an added incentive for that specific time. Whereas the one I showed you before is during certain times it's guaranteed for that. This one is more like it's an incentive to make people want to go to that area to go serve the area because that's how high the demand is. It means that a lot of people want that service. So you make a lot of money doing stuff like that. So just know that when it rains or when the weather's not the best, if you're one of those people who really likes money and you don't mind going outside, you're gonna make a lot of money. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get started just to show you how this is. So press go. You can see it's raining. Who knows how long that's gonna go for? But there's no lie in what I'm saying. You guys can clearly see it's raining. There's no special effects or anything like that. So I'm out here. I'm about to go do this. And then because yesterday I showed you guys yesterday's, but you didn't actually see me actually going around or doing anything like that. So I'm gonna show you guys what's going on in terms of kind of as it happens. I'm not going to be showing you everything because some of it's more self-explanatory than anything you're going to be able to figure out if you already know how to drive. I don't need to show you how to drive, but I'll show you kind of a little bit of how the app works, and then I'll show you the result of after I do deliveries, just to kind of get you to understand exactly what's taking place there. All right, so so we're online now. We're just waiting. So you'll see you're online. That'll let you know that you're waiting, and then when it comes up, you'll see something flash. I'll show you that in a bit. Oh, and by the way, for any of those who if you have kids, you have a significant other, and you want to be able to spend time. Not only is it awesome because of the fact that you get to work on your own schedule, but you can actually another great thing about Uber Eats or a food delivery platform is, at least as far as I know, because I work for Uber Eats, I know that this is the case. You can take your kids and or your significant other with you. There's no problems with that. Whereas if you're driving for the just the Uber chauffeur, you can't have anybody else with you. It's just you. Could be because it's a liability issue for you having other people, I guess, for their safety or whatever. But when you're doing the Uber Eats, you can have a car that is a maximum of 20 years old. At least that's how it is in my city. Check with your city. Check the requirements for your city, but it should be about the same. And yeah, you can drive with your kids. You can drive with your significant other. You can drive with people. You just got to make sure that they're not being rambunctious while you're while you're delivering, because you might spook the people who are getting their food, and then they might give you a bad rating. But other than that, you're good to go. So it's a really good way to do it. When you're driving, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a good idea to necessarily go out and buy yourself like a Jaguar or like a, like a Ferrari or something like that, and go start doing Uber Eats. You're just putting on a bunch of mileage onto your car. So like, if you don't mind doing that, then that's cool. You'll probably get yourself some really good ratings if you're driving around in a Ferrari delivering food. But I mean, for your mileage, it's probably not going to be the best thing for you. So what you can do is you can purchase yourself a low costing car, and it's pretty simple to get something like that. So like, you can go on a local site like Kijiji or Craigslist, or you can even just go down to a dealership and get yourself uh, a car that's not that expensive. Oftentimes, what you can do is you can put a down payment, and then you can work out a deal with the dealership. All you need is a credit card. So that's pretty much all you really need to do. If it is that you don't have a credit card, then you're probably gonna have to go to a department store, get yourself a secure credit card, put down whatever the deposit is if you have one, and then you'll probably be doing that for a few months. So if you do consistent payments onto your card for about 6 months, then you'll prove to the department store that your credit's credible, and then you can go apply for like an actual credit card, and then they'll probably set you off, like depending on how well you pay, but they'll probably start you off with about anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. So if you pay your stuff immediately, like let's say you buy whatever it is you buy on your department store credit card and you pay it off immediately, right there it's showing that you have better credit. The longer you take to pay it off, like the closer you get to the deadline for when you have to pay it off, is the less credit you have. It doesn't mean that it's bringing your credit down. It's just your credit's not going to be as high as it could be because of that. So if you make a payment, or if you make a purchase and then you pay it off straight away, right there you're showing them like, yeah, this is somebody that we could really hack with, and they're really gonna shell out some good credit ratings for you, as well as that could even influence the way that your credit scores or your credit limit's gonna be, right? So you always want to do that, but that's a really good way to get started with Uber. If you have a credit card and you have about $500, it may even be less that you have to put down, but have something to put down on credit card. You can work with these dealerships, and they'll get you a car. There's cars that are reliable enough that you can spend anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000, and like I showed you before, just within a week you can make about $1,000. So you basically paid off your car within a week. So even if your car has like a lot of mileage, if you can work for a week, you have that paid off right there. You know what I mean? Same thing if it's 3,000, you do it for 3 weeks, you have that car paid off right there, and so on and so forth. And then once you're doing stuff like that, then your credit should also improve if you're using your credit card right as well. And then you can go get yourself something a little bit better, right? So it's just to let you know that there's ways of doing this. You just have to open your mind and be willing to do different things to actually get it done. All right. So we're gonna show you a little bit of how it looks like when the app's actually in use. So this is what it looks like. So you 3 minutes away for the pickup, and then it tells you where to go. 700 Egliston Road. So it's telling you that the place where you're gonna go to go pick up your order is gonna show you the actual address, and then it shows you the route of where it is you need to go to get the order there. So if you click the navigate button right here, then it gives you basically turn by turn. So it's actually showing you like on a much closer view, and then you can even click here, and then it'll literally give you turn by turn directions. I don't typically use this, but if you need to use that, especially if you don't know the area or you don't know which road is going where, which direction to start off with, then it'll basically tell you exactly where to go. All right, so we're gonna go head down there. Before we do that, though, I'll show you. Once you get to the place that you're gonna go pick up the item, you just scroll up like that, and then it'll show you the person and the order number. Underneath the person's name is the order number. You give that order number to the merchant there, and then they're gonna give you your order. If you don't give them the order number, then most times they won't give you the order. All right. And then once you're ready to start the order, you click this. It's a little check mark that it puts on there. Then you can if the pickup went well, you can give them a thumbs up. If it didn't go well, you give them a thumbs down. Or if you just don't really care about rating the person because it's neither here nor there, then you don't rate them at all. And then once you've clicked this, then that lights up, and then I'll show you what to do in a second. All right, we'll be right back, guys. So once you're ready, you just, like I said, click that. Thumbs up was a good start. You start the delivery. The delivery. So now it's finished. You swipe right on the delivery. Done, and now you're waiting for the next one. And then you'll see that it'll pop up that the amount that you got. Sometimes it takes a bit, but there you go, $3.96, and that's it. On to the next one.
Head northeast on Silver Horse Crescent toward.
See, just from a little bit ago, the order that I just picked up, it was actually about 14 minutes away. But you'll notice a difference when you pick up an order from further away. They tend to give you kind of incentives, so it basically means you're going to be making a lot more than you typically would doing like a shorter route. It's just kind of highlighting that for you. So I'm about 15 minutes away from where you last saw me. So we're about to start this delivery. All right, and then I'll be able to show you guys in a little bit how much I make off the last two orders. Hopefully, as long as I don't have back-to-back, because this actually was back-to-back from the last one. Anyway, let's go. Just got to the 5th spot to go pick up an order. So I haven't quite started it yet, but the reason why is because I wanted to show you. So it's like what I was saying earlier. Sometimes the tips come all at one shot. So I'm now at $49.60. Haven't even started the next one yet, but you guys will see that. Four trips. I'm still at 4 trips. It's been 2 hours and 17 minutes. Tip $14.09. You see that? Make the right moves and you get to see it. You guys see it. All 4 of them so far are lit up with the green check mark, and lets you know that verified, kind of like Twitter, but not quite. This is the Uber verified, showing you that you made that tip. So that last trip I did, I got $17.99 overall. All right, and that's just to show you guys. So I'm gonna get back to the work, but just to show you guys, like, this is possible. It's not as hard as people think. You just have to know how to make the right moves. All right. Okay, so I only put 40 inside the car just because kind of running low on time. But that's you see $40. It got me to 333. Basically, what that's gonna show you is that I was at 55. I got down to 17. So 55 minus 17. That's, I don't know. That's somewhere around 30 kilometers that it took me to get to the $21 that I have, and that's without me getting any forthcoming tips that I'm gonna end up getting. But that's just to show you. My tank actually fills up to about 520, but it usually takes about $50 for me to get there at about today's gas prices. So essentially, it only took me about 2 hours to make. 2 hours give or take, but just to kind of give you a range, like, it only took about 2 hours to make that $21. Typically I make a lot more, but because of the difference in terms of going from place to place, that's the reason why I'm not necessarily making as much as I could have. Plus I haven't gotten the tips yet, but that's just to show you. So it took me about 2 hours. It usually takes me about 1 hour to make $20-something.
Pick up.
So about 2 hours worth of work would get me. About 2 hours worth of work would get me enough for a full tank. You know what I mean? So, enough, or at least close enough to a full tank to really do a really good job. So there you have it. When I continue doing these rides. Okay, so we finally just finished up that order, so I'll show you right now. While we were away and doing orders and things, another tip came in just to show you guys. So I just completed an order. It's not going to show the whole thing because I guess there might be another tip on the way. But as you can see, it's now $4.03 that I got in tips. Just got to the fifth spot to go pick up an order. So I haven't quite started it yet, but the reason why is because I wanted to show you. So it's like what I was saying earlier. Sometimes the tips come all at one shot. So I'm now at 49.60. Haven't even started the next one yet, but you guys will see that. Four trips. I'm still at four trips. It's been 2 hours and 17 minutes. Tip 1409. You see that? Make the right moves and you get to see it. You guys see it. All four of them so far are lit up with the green check mark, and lets you know that verified, kind of like Twitter, but not quite. This is the Uber verified, showing you that you made that tip. So that last trip I did, I got $17.99 overall. All right, and that's just to show you guys. So I'm gonna get back to the work, but just to show you guys, like, this is possible. It's not as hard as people think. You just have to know how to make the right moves. All right. You guys, just thought I'd check back in. So it's 8:16 now, and I filled up my tank to about 333. It's now 296, and as you can see, the numbers jumped up. So I got 94.57. See if we can get a closer look at the stats so far. So I've done 10 trips, and it's been about 3 hours. Well, actually, sorry, about 4 hours more. I got $17.78 worth of tips. That's just so far. I'm pretty sure a few more will come in, but as you can see, every trip up until about 6:56 is given a tip so far. So that's just to show you, you can make the money. And like I said, it's only been about 4 hours, right? So here's another trip that just came in. All right, we're gonna get to it. All right, so I'm here at another restaurant, but I thought I'd show you all real quick. My battery's dying, so I'm probably gonna finish this up pretty soon. But right now I'm at 11:50 or 111.53. It's about 9:04 p.m. Oh, I did the wrong one. Okay. Well, so you can see, tip is at $23, and not everybody's there, but the last person I did, they gave me a tip. And then there you go. So that's how we're living. So right now, just shy of $30 an hour, but there's still more trips to go and still more tips to come through. So yeah, that's how we do it. I just thought I'd show you all that. Just so the overall message for this video is, I just want to show you guys that you can make a very, very good wage. So don't let the naysayers and the haters talk you out of wanting to do this. This is really, really good money if you know how to do it right. So stay tuned, and try to give you as much info as possible to make this happen for you all as well. Okay, so we're here giving you guys another update. So I'm now at 137.05. The last trip I just did, it actually got canceled because I guess they couldn't finish the order or something. They said for whatever reason they had to cancel it. But I'm almost at 140, and that's after about 5.5 hours. So that's just to show you, and I got $26 worth of tips. This is all just on a Tuesday, Like I said, for any of the naysayers that say that you can't make money with Uber, to me it's crazy, just because I know for a fact that you can, because I do it all the time. I can scroll back and I can show you. Well, I guess I can't show you right now, but just to show you, you see that's 1 week worth, and that's only 5 days. I made $753.14. I mean, the list goes on. I could go back as far as possible. There's been times where I just haven't really put in the effort, but you can make a decent amount, and most people don't even make even 500 within a week. So 500, 698, 500, 523, 822, 773, and all these times, say this is 380. All these times, it's literally like I'm not even trying my hardest. It just goes to show you that you can make quite a bit if you actually put in the time, and if you know you there's certain things you can do to improve your conversion rate or to improve your earnings, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. As long as you're, you know, taking advantage of the surge and or the boost. So the multipliers, the 1.3, that's probably one of the most important. It's not the total most important, but that's the easiest way to really make a lot of money. So as you can see, I made nearly 150 within about a 5 hour span. So that's about $30 per hour, and I still haven't even. I'm pretty sure that there's still going to be other tips that can still come in, which they probably will. So right now I'm just waiting on the next order. I'm probably gonna pack it up for tonight just because there's other things I could be doing, and today I didn't even really need to work. There wasn't really a need for it, but I figured I'd that this needed to be done. It was more important to show you guys out there that it can be done. So yeah, as you can see, vast majority, I think only 3 of my trips for today I didn't get a tip, and that's only so far. For all you know, I'll end up getting all of them. So that just goes to show you. All right. Well, you know what? We'll go back to just to show you. So last week's, I'll show you overall. You get to see just how many tips were made. So every time, like I said, every time you see a green check mark, you know that's a tip. So it just keeps going, going. Oh, went back too far. Keeps going. This is regular stuff. Like this is probably even one of my bad weeks. But it's just to go to show you like that's what goes on. I've made over $1,000 in a week. I just now because I like working on other things and because of kind of perfected to a certain degree how to do this stuff. I don't really work as much and I don't have to work as many hours. That's actually the key. It's actually the key that you guys want to work on is you shouldn't really be thinking so much about, you know, oh, I don't make such and such an hour. You just want to be able to make more money within a certain time frame. But you gotta increase the value that you provide to the customer and or even to the company. If you take a look at how most people who make a lot of money, they bring the most value to the business, whatever business that is, whether it's the company they work for or whether it's the clientele that they have, they increase their value. So that being said, I'm gonna sign off and let you guys do your thing. Tomorrow morning, if there's any change in the amount of money that I made from tips, then I'll show you guys that as well as any other trips that I do. But I'm probably gonna sign off because it's almost 10 now, and like I said, I didn't really need to do this today, just to kind of show you guys the proof. All right, so you guys, we'll see you later, and get out there and make that money. Morning, guys. It's the next morning, Wednesday. So I think I did maybe 1 or 2 other trips after the last trip that you guys saw. So I'm gonna show you now what's changed since then. So we're gonna go to the earnings, and then I'll show you exactly what I made. So the total is a little bit is around 6 hours anyway. After the 6 hour mark, I ended up making about 160. So let me just show you all this real quick. So as you can see, that's Tuesday. Wednesday, I don't have any yet. I'm just online waiting for the next for the call. So I ended up making 161.58. Get this thing to work. And there you have it. So in total, I made $108.62. With the boost multiplier, I made an extra $13.46. Then my tips totaled at $39.50, which gave me $161.58 in total. And as you can see, I made tips basically. I think out of all of the trips I did, I think I only missed two. I mean, yeah, so one, two people didn't give me tips yesterday. Other than that, everything else is tips. It just goes to show you that the tip game can significantly increase your earnings. And so yeah, it was about 6 hours and 14 minutes in total. So for 6 hours, I mean, most people make about half of what I made in an 8 hour shift. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you that if you play the game right, you let somebody who knows exactly what they're doing kind of show you the way that it is possible. So I just wanted to show you all that. That's gonna wrap up the video for today. But I hope this inspires a lot of you guys to want to really get out there and make some money, be your own boss, work your own schedule, not be bogged down by the 9 to 5, and don't let things like you don't want to put mileage on your car get you down. Because if you play this game right and you do a lot of the things that I tell you in terms of growing yourself, growing your business, growing your mindset in terms of how it is that you make money, mileage on your car is going to be the last thing that you're going to end up worrying about, because you'll be able to, get yourself nicer vehicles. You'll be able to get yourself, properties, things of that nature. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go do some runs, and hopefully you guys get started and start making that money. All right. We'll see y'all later. Hey guys, so I hope that you guys found a lot of value in this video. Nothing else, I hope it motivated you guys to get started in doing the Uber Eats thing, so you can make yourself some good money, and also be able to free up a lot of your time and be able to work on your own terms. So if you found value in this, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment down in the comment section below if you got any questions, or if there's something specific that you want to talk about that maybe I didn't go over, or maybe that you're not necessarily clear on, and we'll make sure that happens for you in the next video. All right, till next time, guys, take care.